What up, y'all? It's your boy M3L. Just want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors, Eating with the Joneses Catering. Some good eats made with love. They got chicken and shrimp dinners, both made with 2 sides. And make sure you get that 5-cheese mac and cheese and that good old homemade banana cream pudding. You can contact them on their Facebook, Eating with the Joneses, or Instagram @ Eating with the Joneses. And make sure you tell them M3L sent you. Love is love. Let's get into this episode.
Yeah. I kicked them all fucking going. Yeah. Live out the 718, it's the motherfucking kid, yo.
Yeah, what up, y'all? We are back with another episode of the M3L podcast. I'm your host, M3L. Now, my guest today is family, like family, being blood related couldn't make us more family. You hear me? And
Yes, sir.
I watched this young brother grow up, and I can say I'm very proud of the person he's become. We went through kind of the same situation, so to speak, but he just kind of took more advantage of it than I did. And I tell him every chance I get, I got much respect for them for doing that and kind of really just making a way for himself. Especially coming from where we come from, it ain't easy for everybody. And he kind of stayed away from a lot of the nonsense that a lot of other people got involved with. So without any further ado, let me introduce my brother, Jamel Jones. What's good, bro?
What's up, bro? Good looking on the intro.
Nah, you
appreciate
already know,
it.
bro. You already know. First off,
Right.
let me thank you for making the time to come up here and kick it with me. When I reached out to you for this, I told you I kind of wanted to bring you on because I like the way you moving, and you kind of found the way outside of the your 4 corners of your neighborhood. And a lot of people where we from, they kind of scared to leave the block. You know what I mean? And from you moving from place to place, you know what I mean, due to your job, really having to remake yourself, so to speak, or rebuild from city to city and making and finding your own way. It's just much respect for that. You already know. But just you could give the people a little bit of your background. You ain't got to go too deep or too far back. Just give them a little bit so kind of, they can get kind of familiar with you.
All right, bro. Well, folk, family over everything.
Know.
That's the model.
Definitely.
I appreciate you even asking me to be on this.
Right.
I'm honored, especially after seeing your last few guests. You had the big homie on there, Billy Gamble. I'm
Facts.
like, man, wow, if he put me in the light of guys like that, then that mean I'm on the right path. You know what I'm saying? Bill was one of those guys that we saw take that first jump at. We deserve something more. You know what I'm saying? I was just young watching, but it was inspirational, and seeing you guys connect like that and clearing up things and knowing things that happened that I didn't know. That was a great episode, by the way. I want to put that in there.
Definitely, I appreciate you.
No problem. Appreciate you too. Me personally, grew up in the same hood, South Bronx, Ellesmere. I'm part of the Jones family. We known on Ellesmere. My mom had 5 children. I was the baby boy.
Mm-hmm.
So, I got a little more hands-on than my other brothers and sisters based on being a baby boy. Mom have less people to worry about because they grown or whatever. But, we grew up in them trenches, man. Grew up in those trenches.
Right.
You being one of my big brothers, actually, helped mentor me during those times. All I can say is, man, like, I'm just proud that we had the upbringing that we had based on kind of shape and mold us to being the men we are today.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean?
That's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fact. So, like coming from where we come from, right? And you know, we had a few people that, you know, ain't make it. You know what I'm saying? And we seen a lot, we've been through a lot, and just to be here today in the lights that we are is a blessing in itself. You know what I mean? Like to be successful black men, taking care of our families, you know what I'm saying? And you know, we came from playing wiffle ball in the courtyard, playing basketball on the crates, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. And it was just so crazy. Like, and like I said, we went through kind of like kind of the same situation in the sense, like, you know, we got scholarships to go to high school. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
and I'm from like you, I'm from that class of slice, you know, that age bracket where I kind of didn't go to school with them. You feel what I'm saying? Cause of my situation, I got the scholarship and the raise or whatever. So like I didn't go to school with nobody in my generation. And I'm probably one of the only or one of the few from that generation who got a high school diploma. You feel what I'm saying? And I missed out on a lot of things that were, you know, fun that everybody else was doing, but I kind of got some experiences that other people didn't get. And this is where you kind of come in for me, like you going through that same channel, and you kind of, like I tell you all the time, like you took full advantage of that opportunity. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And do I feel I could have did better? Yeah, but I still got that respect. Like that's where, like, and you know, I was coming to the games when you playing in high school and all of that. Like even when you came back, like we always linked up, whether we went out somewhere or we just checked it on the block, got some drinks, whatever. Like it was just always a mutual respect. And like I said, to see where you at now, bro, is just a true blessing for me. I love what I see, and I know with your occupation, you kind of had to move around a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and for a lot of people, I'm sure, and I'm sure for yourself, it was probably kind of hard at the beginning, like being away from your family, your friends, kind of having a, like, kind of like build a life for yourself. Like, so tell me how that felt. Like, and before we get there, like, I know, like, what was the first place you went, like when you had to move for your job?
Oh, all right. The first place I went was St. Louis. It was St. Louis. But I get to that, but the touch base on which you really started off with is basically the scholarship thing. So when I went to 193, that's the, you know, down the block from the where we live, we grew up. When I went there, that school was chaotic. It was basically no way you can focus in that school. It's because dudes was either fighting, dudes wasn't paying attention to the teacher, people cutting class. It was just, everything was going on in that school. That junior high school was one of the worst in the Bronx, actually, at the time. So I was always a bright kid. I was always intelligent.
Right.
So what I used to do, I indulge in that behaviors too, but I used to go to class on Mondays. And you know, in school, they teach you the lesson on Monday and they do it throughout the week, and then you take the test on Friday.
Right.
I was so bright, I went to class, every class on Mondays, and I would cut from Tuesday to Thursday and go to Friday and still pass my academics. A lot of my friends didn't understand it. They thought I was failing like them. They thought I was going. get left back like them, but I was handling business. The crazy thing is that's kind of how it still is to this day, as far as I be handling business and people don't even know. I'll be right in front of you drinking Henny. I'll be drinking Henny and Pepsi with you or whatever you like to chase, and I'll be filling out a job application on my phone. We standing on the corner.
Right.
And people never knew that about me. But we had the one teacher I think we both knew, Miss Alvarado.
That lady changed my life, yo.
Yep, mine too. She pulled me to the side. She said, yeah, you act bad and everything. However, I know you're a good kid based on your grades. So I want you to try to go to private school, because what's missing is the discipline.
Right.
Here, take these forms home to your mother, have her fill them out, bring them back. I tossed that joint in the garbage can, bro.
Wow, really?
Yeah. I went home to my mom, and my mom's like, where's those papers that teacher gave you? She called me. So you know Miss Jones don't play. So I said, oh, I left them in the locker. I'll bring them tomorrow. So when I went back to school, I said, Miss Alvarado, I misplaced the paper. Can you give me more? She said, sure, honey. Gave me some. So my mom and me was filling it out. So crazy thing is, it's all boys schools. It was only 2 co-ed schools that was Catholic. It was Spelman and mine, Scanlon.
Right.
So my mom like, St. Ray's, she threw that. She like, St. Ray's, you want? I said, Mom, it's all boys. I need to see girls to function. You know what I mean? I need girls in my school. So she basically said, it's 2 of them. Which one? I said, which one is the closest? And it happened to be Scanlon. So I picked that one. I put in my paperwork. It was a lot of guys that applied to this scholarship. And they was getting their letters back. Oh, I'm going here, or I got an interview for here. And I wasn't receiving nothing. And I was good with that because I didn't even want to go. I wanted to go to Rhodes with everybody else from my hood.
Right.
You know, got Benji, Dre, all my brothers is going to Rhodes. I'm going there too. So they end up sending me a letter last minute to go on this interview at the school and take this exam. So me and my mom went and didn't think nothing of it. Next thing you know, a month later, I got an acceptance letter. And I'm like, oh shit. And my mom excited, you know, she telling everybody about it. And I almost got expelled from junior high. So that would have messed up all my chances of going.
Right.
I was being a knucklehead, snuck up on the roof, throwing rocks off the roof, and got snitched on. Then I put hands on the dude who snitched on me. It's making it even worse. But for some reason, that judge, when I went down to the Board of Education, he had some type of love for me. He said, you know what, I'm giving you one more chance to go back to that school and graduate. If you graduate, he's like, one more thing, and you done. Wow. And I managed to pull through, and they closed that junior high the very next year. It was no longer 193.
Yeah, I think
they
broke it
switched
down
the name. Every new staff knew everything. So I ended up going to the school. The school accepted me. Ended up going to the school, and it was like the worst thing in my life at first, because remember, my problem was discipline.
Yeah, Catholic school
I didn't
different.
listen.
Yeah.
So I didn't get, before you come through these doors, your tie need to be on, your pants need to be tucked in your shirt need to be tucked in your pants,
shoes on
before you walk through this door.
School
My
sweater.
philosophy was, class don't start until this. This is when I'm supposed to be done.
Right.
So
wow,
they quickly let me, let me know who was in charge, because I was in discipline I was getting disciplinary detention almost every day. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So our love for basketball is what got me focused for school. So, because the ultimatum was, if you didn't do well in school and behave, you can't play.
And they was dead serious about that.
They was dead serious about that. And you, for one reason, helped me even adapt into organized basketball. You probably don't even know that.
I didn't.
Remember when I was young, used to run with y'all, used to do the diamond press,
Right.
show where you at in the diamond press and all that stuff. Just basic fundamentals, because you know, tournament basketball is totally different from organized basketball.
Totally different ball game.
Two different animals.
And a lot of people can't make that transition.
Yeah, I was able to take that, apply it to organized basketball, and pick up what they was doing and develop my basketball IQ.
Okay.
There's dudes that probably will kill me in a tournament, but organized basketball, I'm gonna have 40 on you.
Yeah, they won't have a chance.
I'm gonna have 40. It's a tougher game. It's a real tough game.
That's a fact.
You know, a dude with no talent basically will kill you if he got his fundamentals and his organized basketball skills down. So that was the role there. You know what I'm saying? It changed me because that was the first time I felt like I meant something in the world as far as coming from where we came from.
Facts.
You know, I was signing autographs at 16. Like, I used to be shocked. Like, you want my autograph? I used to laugh. Like,
it's
for
a
real,
different environment.
Like,
yeah, it's a different environment. Different environment.
You know, being on TV, showcasing that or whatever, that right there was good enough for me. I wasn't even thinking about college. Wasn't even thinking about college. College chose me when I started getting letters.
Right.
In the mail. Like, who is this? So, you know, like, my mind always been different as far as different perspectives or whatever.
Yeah, you ain't never been no dummy.
Right. And I always like felt like I need to think for myself and not what other people say. I always take gems from people and leave their bullshit with them. You know, like just learning from anybody.
That's big to have at a young age, because like some people get caught into like following, and that end up being a downfall just in life, because it's, you know, it's some mistakes you just can't come back from. You know what I mean? But
so,
I didn't mean to cut you off, but go ahead.
Yeah, so I would take gems from people. It could be a dude, he ain't shit, but he said something that meant something to me. So I'm gonna take it with him. I'm not gonna just write him off because he ain't got nothing going for himself right now. Because honestly, those people are just ones you learn a lot from.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
You know, so it's like that's how I developed who Jamel Jones is. So fast forward, because you said you want me to talk about the first place I went, that was St. Louis.
Okay.
Actually, with this job, you know what I'm saying? So St. Louis was the first place. I just hopped up and left, Mel. I was big on that. I just wanted more for my life. So I have a mentor, right? He invited me to dinner. And I went down to dinner, went downtown, this fancy restaurant. And he had his boy with him. I don't know who he is. Introduced me to him or whatever.
Right.
And we got to talking. I would be myself around the president, the Pope, my mother, no matter what. So homie was like, you got a lot of charisma. You could probably get rich with your personality. And I'm like, oh, whatever, you know, I'm from the hood. That's how we do. He's like, what you doing for work now? And I told him at the time I was doing social work.
Okay.
Social work. And you know, social work don't really pay you no bread. So
Right.
it's hard work. They didn't really get no bread. He said, you ever thought about doing construction? I immediately thought getting my hands dirty, physical labor. I said, nah.
Yeah, I got a college degree.
I got a college degree. That's not what I'm here for. He said, yeah, I know. No, he's like, no. I want you to come work for me and build your role as a supervisor or whatever. He said, you seem bright. I know you can do it. I said, yeah, I'm cool. He said, it's going to be hard work, though, because you basically going to learn under one of my guys. And what you're going to be learning, you need a specific degree to do that. So he's going to be giving you this information that he went to college for, and you can just learn the job from him. I said, I'm interested. He was like, all right, come check me in St. Louis. So we set up a date. He flew out there. I was going to get a hotel. He said, nah, you're going to stay with me. Well, I went to this dude's house just based on networking and being myself. And we kids from the Bronx.
Facts.
This man had this big, huge mansion. He had an apartment upstairs, full-out apartment, probably like 1,500 square foot. I went up there. It was decked out, and it had Obama pictures with the guy, him, Michelle, and Obama, whatever. He said, you like this room? I said, yeah, you got the president. I know you do the president. That's big. You know, I'm excited. He said, yeah, The Rock stays here. The Rock stays here when he comes see me. I said, come on, man. He said, yes, The Rock stays here, and you're staying here now. So this is the CEO of the company. He didn't lay that jewel on me until I got there. He said, I am one of the 16 people Barack called in Chicago when it was time to campaign.
Oh, he big business.
Yeah, so I'm feeling like, wow. So he had these guys take me around, show me this everything, and he was like, you ready? And I was like, I'm sold. So I thought I was gonna get this big old salary or whatever.
Right.
He started me off just a little bit more money than I made as a social worker.
Okay.
He wanted to see the grind.
See if you wanted it.
So, and I just was down there putting in work. I didn't even understand my surroundings at first. I didn't even understand. I was just putting work. Thomas from the hood.
Right. I know
he lived down there.
Right.
And I connected with him. Big up to T. T held me down, so I found my place. I stood with T in his couch for like 2-3 weeks till I found my place, put my place together. You know what I'm saying? So big up for, family. That full shit extends. You know what I'm saying? So once I did that, I just took off, bro. And then I was planning on staying in St. Louis, being local.
Right.
Right? Because he had offered for me to travel. And then I had a lady at the time, and me and her trying to settle down thing.
Right.
Once that didn't work out, she breathed, she stayed in St. Louis. I said, yo, man, I'm ready to travel for you. He said, say no more. I was waiting on this day.
How long you was in St. Louis?
I was in St. Louis for 2 years.
Okay.
Because I wanted to be local for the company for 2 years. Mind you, I fast forward a little bit to inspire young dudes or whatever that come from where we come from, or anybody that know the picture. I was flat on my face before this happened. I was doing my thing in Buffalo because I went to Buffalo for college.
Right.
I graduated from Buffalo, and I wanted to be a police officer. I don't know if you knew that.
I feel like it was a discussion at a point. I'm not 100% sure. But I feel like that
So
was a conversation we had at one point, though.
when I finished school, I came back home, straight police. I passed everything with flying colors. To keep it 100, Esco watched this. He probably alive. When it was time for him to call me back to the academy, these dudes told me they want to see if I got in any more trouble in my neighborhood, and started asking me about Esco.
Mm.
And I said, man, this is not what I'm here for. They was like, why these guys can't be more like you? I said, they themselves. Why they need to be like me? And I guess the way I reacted to them showing me them photos, they didn't want me because they could tell I can't brainwash this dude.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So once I got discouraged there, again, I want more for myself. I packed my bags. My mom said, what you doing? I said, I'm not staying in this block. It's nothing here for me. I didn't graduate from college to come back home. She's like, well, where you gonna go? I said, I'm gonna figure it out. Got on a Greyhound bus.
I just ain't gonna do it here.
I ain't doing it here. Got on a Greyhound bus, took off, back up to Buffalo. My shorty at the time was holding me down like, yo, just do you till you get on your feet. You know how it go. Found a good job in social work. I was bubbling. Felt good after I saved all my money and got my spot and I bought my first brand new car. It just felt good. Like, you know, for us, I thought I was winning.
I did this.
Yeah, I'm winning. You know what I'm saying? I'm winning. So what led me to come, what we gotta understand, and you can attest to it in life, is that just like you get it, you can lose it. You know what I'm saying? Decisions in life, but don't ever think that it's over. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna keep grinding, it's that rain gonna disappear. So I was bubbling, and then I had my first child, my baby boy, and then things wasn't going correctly with me and baby mom. We decided to split, and then I just started losing things like a domino effect. And that's how I ended up back home with mom. Deuce, y'all welcome me back to the block. Like, yo,
you know the hood will always welcome you back.
Welcome me back. And I don't say this stuff I don't say this stuff for people to judge me because they got their own shit, so they can't judge me. I'm telling you this stuff because it may help somebody.
All the time.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's what it's all about, bro. Each one teach one. One hand wash the other. Both wash the face.
The broski Thule Bane, he seen it. He seen it when I was hurting. He knew it, but he just stood by me. You know what I'm saying? He kept me busy. Like, come with me here, come with me there. You know what I'm saying? Make sure I was having a good time. And don't worry about nothing. And then my car got repoed. He had all his shit in my trunk. Yo, Mel, nigga had all his shit in my trunk. I'm talking about he had every exclusive Jordan you could think about in my back of my. He had about, I don't know what those was worth, but there was some bands and they repoed my car. And I felt bad. I said, you know what? I said to my sister, we got to get his shit back. We got to find out where my car is. We got to get his shit back. And we got his shit back, but I never stopped the grind even when I was down. I worked a job delivering car parts before they took the whip. Then they took the whip. Then I got a job doing social work like I used to do.
Right.
And then I was taking the Metro North in 2 buses 2-hour commute to the job, 2 hours back each day. Mind you, I'm still grinding and searching for something better. It never stopped. Like I said, I'll be on the corner with you, laughing, bullshit, and drinking. I'm filling out job applications.
Right.
It ain't stopped. And I kept my spirits up. I had good brothers like Shaq. The whole family fold. They just come around, make you feel regular again, make you feel loved. And that's what's my inspiration. Like a lot of these guys was rooting for me, man. They was like, he made it. If you think about my generation, I probably was the first to go to college in my generation, and then it fell down a year or two. I think I helped Booski go. Booski followed it was like a train.
You was one of the few to actually like go away. The only other person I could think of is Spencer.
But see, he was older than me.
Right.
He was
older
than me.
From like, and you know, Spencer's older than me. That's like more like your brother in them class.
Yeah.
Like Dawn. That's their generation. But like outside of him, like you one of the only people I knew that from the block that went away to school. You know, some people went to community, but like to go away and get that real college feel, like, you know what I'm saying? That like you one of the few, bro.
And I remember Boo Boo, he asked me, he said, bro, how you got there? I told him, Miss Alvarado, that's all I had to tell him. And he said, that's what it takes sometimes one person to do it from where we at to know it's possible. You did it, I saw it. He seen me, it just started
and
going
sharing
down
the
line.
information. You know what I'm saying? Like sharing the information, because a lot of people don't know certain things. So sharing that information, like you could have been, and you know how it gets sometimes. Somebody come ask you something, you know, you want to be shiesty with that information. Like you give that information up with no problem. Like this, who you go see, go get it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but we still rare guys, because where we from, a nigga won't tell you where he got his haircut from if it's fresh.
Exactly.
You're like, yo, your haircut fresh, bro. Where you got that from? You know, I don't know. I just walked into a random barbershop. I don't even know his name. Like, it's really the crab in the barrel mentality, and I don't get it because we stronger together.
Facts.
It's kind of, that's why now with this bullshit, family over everything, that's been said before. People know that phrase, but I'm trying to embody that with us and really do it. I started being proactive, thinking ahead of the game, where I see how as niggas get older, they stop hanging with their friends or even communicating with them. I started the fantasy leagues just so we can communicate.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I troll like a motherfucker. I get on y'all nerves.
And that's what it's supposed to be, though, because we've been doing that since forever.
At the same time, I'm interacting with y'all more. I'm talking to some of y'all daily. And if we have something in common on those things, we'll be going, not that niggas is like, yo, I don't want to associate with him. We got lives, we got families to take care of. Those little moments of breather ain't always to hit your man. It's to relax, watch a show, talk to your lady, whatever the case may be.
Right.
So if we could get it in through some fantasy football and basketball, and actually this is great too, let's do it. Because once we start going that way and that way,
and time will fly on you. Before you know it, it's 2-3 years. Next thing you know, 10 years done passed. Like, it's crazy.
And then basically we seen that with older generations. You know what I'm saying? You know, I think I heard Bill say, like, You don't get back together until somebody's funeral.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that's sad. You know, I even been thinking about just trips with each other or whatever. You know, how we do the cookouts, so how Haas do the cookouts and all that.
Right.
All that means something, you know what I'm saying? All that means something with us. And I think that's a good dynamic to have for us to, you know, get together like that.
Yeah. And they need it.
Mm-hmm.
And they need it. It's that time to build. Even if you ain't seen or spoke to somebody in a little while, that little time right there to build and just to kind of live in the past, so to speak, for that little moment, like chilling with the homies, is needed. Is well needed at that.
Right. So basically I started playing ball, but it started out as academic stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It got me to Buffalo to play ball. I won championships, about 5 different, all the way up to Federation in high school. My first year in college, we won a chip. And it just, basketball took me places that I never would have went if I didn't have it.
Right.
Like my first time in Vegas was in a basketball tournament, in a UNLV tournament. We never went out there to play. They used to give us a little spending money. They call it stipends because they can't say they're paying.
Right.
They give us a little $200 a day. I had my brother ID, Slice ID. He was 21. He was 20 something at the time.
Oh,
I was in the casinos.
Yeah, he's able to move a little different.
It was a dream world to me. I said, I'm from the Bronx. I ain't never seen nothing but the Bronx. And I'm out here in Vegas. This shit look like a cartoon world. You got roller coasters going through, hotels. You just got everything out here. And that sparked that. I want to travel.
Right.
And I've been, and basketball took me to those places. And then I saw there was more out there for us.
Mm-hmm.
I used, when I travel sometimes, it's weird. I would be in like Houston, and I'll be like, my boy Shaq would prosper in Houston based on his personality, how I know him, how they are in Houston.
Move, yeah.
He'll fit here.
Yeah.
I'll be over here like M3L, way they praising this dude with music. Imagine my man M3L was. That's what I do sometimes in my head. You really have to find your place, bro. I feel like back in the Bronx, you become, no disrespect to nobody, it becomes a mental prison.
Yeah.
Because when I was there, even when I was there, we complain about New York, and New York does their people dirty.
Mm-hmm.
New York is there to take. That's it. And then I'll be seeing you guys survive there, so you can adapt to anywhere. I know it.
Right.
So I see my brothers and sisters stay there. I'm like, it's like a mental prison. I was there is because it's like you're still loyal to it. You're still loyal to it. And then the small things, you got to take off. When I was in the Bronx, you got to take off a whole day to go to a motor vehicle. You got to take off work.
Mm-hmm.
I've lived in St. Louis. I lived in South Dakota. I could go on my lunch break and come back with everything I needed.
That's a fact. And I never realized that, bro, until I lived in North Carolina. And I went in there one day, ID, everything I needed. In a few hours. I didn't have to wait in the long lines. I was able to get my picture. I was able to leave out of there with an ID card the same day I went in. I didn't have to wait for nothing. None of that. Nobody was disrespectful. I ain't know what I'm saying? I ain't have to get into no altercations with anybody about nothing. And sometimes, like you said, you don't realize that until you get outside and really see like what's out there. You know what I'm saying? And even like, me coming up, I kind of went down south for the summers. So like I was always in that element. So like when I seen it, I'm like, yo, this is the place I could live. Like you get way more for your dollar out here. You know what I'm saying? Like
Absolutely.
you be in New York for a 2-bedroom paying 2,200, and your shit be rat infested, and niggas can't come and get nothing fixed, and like it's crazy, bro. And then you go other places, and your shit be top notch, and you get way more. Like when I first moved, like when my girl was pregnant, we moved to North Carolina. So we went looking for cribs. So one of the cribs we looked at was a 2-bedroom, gated community center, gym, pool, all this wild shit. And they only wanted $960 a month.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm like,
absolutely.
This is
Absolutely.
crazy.
Absolutely. And there's so many things out there. I don't know. Some people, you can pick my mind all day about information. I like to tell people information if they seek it, because I'm not going to just offer something. So I don't know what you may need. I don't know. Right. So, it's a pride about people from where we from too. They don't want to give you that pay that homage, because I don't know. We always had a competition. Some people just had a competition. It's just how we grew up. It's not even nothing to be offended by.
New York shit.
Yeah.
New York shit.
Yeah. But at the same time, if they ask me, I'm gonna give you the info. Like even credit at one time, I had said one time, people charging you to dispute debt. You don't need to pay nobody a fee to dispute debt. I'll show you how to do it.
Right.
And maybe 2 people hit me in the DM out of all my followers. And that's an issue. Like, if you got somebody, it's like, I don't want to admit to you that I got debt.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I could help you just get it wiped out. There's people that's charging you for that. They acting like they have this secret knowledge about you got to do X, Y, and Z when it's real simple.
Mm-hmm. All shit you can do yourself.
All shit you can do yourself. And like you said earlier, that it's based on information. You know what I'm saying? You got the information, you can do it. But if people ain't willing to give it to you, I'm an open book when it comes to things like that. Even purchasing households, I can help you purchase your house. There's programs out there for minorities, and women is considered a minority, where you don't have your first house, you don't have to throw down no 25 grand. You know what I'm saying? You can go purchase the house with nothing down and then pay your closing costs. Mm. So that's stuff when when y'all ready, we get the ball rolling and do what we need to do. And you can get a house anywhere in this country through that. You know what I'm saying? So me moving around like I did is reason why I got a different perspective on people, places, things, info, all that. I done lived amongst all type of people that's torn up. You go turn on the TV, it tear you up. I'm in Cali now. I live around none but Mexicans. Where we from, Mexicans is slim to none there and kind of looked over. You come out here in California, the whole state, this is their town. They run shit. They run shit, and they good people. You know what I'm saying? And they do every occupation. And it's like, I didn't know that until I started traveling. South Dakota, Sioux Falls, South Dakota, one of my favorite places in this country.
Wow, South Dakota.
You
was out there for a while too, right?
Yep.
How long you was out there?
I was out there maybe a year. A year.
All right.
Sioux Falls, South Dakota, no state tax. You don't pay state tax. Dominant white people. I never experienced a racist comment, gesture, slur, nothing up there. Everybody was respectful, treated me nice. They overcompensated sometimes because they saw that, let's make them feel comfortable, because
but
you never see that on the news about that place. They don't talk about it because the point is for you to stay divided and just get stereotyped, and that's what people
even
think
hearing
of
the
you.
name and what you think of hearing the name make you not want to go there.
Oh, I was bugging, yeah.
Because you think it's like some type of like just stranded piece of land, like some hillbilly farmland, you know what I'm saying?
I was bugging when my boss told me, yo, this is your next job. It says SD next to my name. I said, oh, San Diego? Hell yeah. So, no, that's South Dakota. I fought him on it. Like, nah, how you gonna just send me out? What got me out there, it was a black superintendent that was out there.
Mm-hmm.
That we had built a building in Ferguson together.
Okay.
We built this medical building in Ferguson because, of course, the company sent the black men into Ferguson to build
it. What was going on at the time? All right, right.
Right. Ferguson's actually a marvelous place. It's another place where black people excel.
Okay.
They try to say Michael Brown lived in the hood. They said that because he's black. It's dominant black communities. North County in Ferguson is Ferguson.
Okay.
I had the opportunity to coach McClure North High School. They was in the same league as Jason Tatum, and Jason Tatum played for Chaminade.
Right.
I had the pleasure to coach against Jason Tatum, being a coach for that school.
Yeah, you told me.
That school right in Ferguson. Them young black men had better cars than me pulling up. Coach Jones, man, you need a bigger car than that. 16, 17 young fly black men. Ferguson, black businesses, black bars, all that. They're not going to put that on TV. They made it seem like it was crazy.
Yeah, they don't want you to see that.
I took my oldest brother, Don, out there. And he wanted to see it. And I showed him when Mike Brown passed away. We went to the exact spot where he laid on the floor.
Wow.
They had the monument and all that. You still saw the stain in the asphalt.
Oh wow! And was you there at the time all that went on?
No, I wasn't.
Okay, all right.
So when I went to St. Louis, I had the same perspective of everybody else who saw it on TV.
Right.
It's a good black community that is thriving. People don't know that. I used to go to hang in Ferguson all the time when I was down in St. Louis.
Wow.
Because where we from, we didn't see much black businesses and black people running shit.
You want to embrace that energy.
Yeah, you walk in you know how good it feels. Like we see how our Hispanic brothers do in the Bronx. They got businesses. You go to Roy's, Bate. They got their business where they playing their music, living their culture.
Right.
I was in Ferguson and I was seeing that from the first time coming from the Bronx, really. I know Harlem got spots.
Right.
But
well, back in the days.
Seeing that going on, I'm like, yo, I'm in this restaurant and they playing Marvin Gaye. You're not playing no Britney Spears or nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They playing some shit I could relate to. My people, my food, the food on the menu looked like what mom cooked.
Made you proud to be black.
Yeah, and I was out in Ferguson, and what they put on TV wasn't the Ferguson. And that's a great example of how they paint us as people.
Right. It's all an illusion.
Mm-hmm. And then the South Dakota people showed me there's white people that's not like that. We here for you. Actually, it's not even we here for you. We're gonna treat you like a regular. It's like we don't see nothing. Bro, I used to go to this bar called the Library. It was every race in there. Not too many blacks, the population wasn't up, but it's a lot of South Sudan people from Africa that's migrating to Sioux Falls.
Right.
the music was crazy good. Biggie, Tupac. I looked at the DJ, white boy nerd glasses. Just cutting. I said, this is what America's supposed to be, but
Right.
they never let it see the light of day.
And actually what it is in most places, but you know, that ain't just what they put out there to the world.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you said you was in South Dakota for a year.
Yeah.
So it was St. Louis for 2 years, South Dakota for another year.
So I went from St. Louis to South Carolina.
Okay. All right.
So when I went to South Carolina, I was right by my mom family, my family.
Okay.
Back where it all started. I was 45 minutes from Greenwood where my mom grew up. I enjoyed that so much. I went to see my aunt every chance I got until she passed away. So I seen her a couple of times when I was out there when I wasn't working. And I enjoyed South Carolina. From South Carolina, they shot me up to New York. Remember when I was coming to the block?
All right.
I was in Fishkill, New York. We built the Gap warehouse up there.
Okay.
When I got finished with that, I helped out a month or two in Baltimore, another one of my favorite cities.
Baltimore's nice.
Food is great.
Baltimore's
Enjoyed
nice.
Baltimore for a while. They put me to finish at Amazon. Amazon said they liked me, so they kind of want to keep me on their projects.
Okay.
Or whatever. So when I left there, that's when they sent me to Cali, I believe. No, they sent me to Sioux. I went to Sioux Falls. I was supposed to go to Cali. Went to Sioux Falls.
And Sioux Falls is
built
where?
a city. That's South Dakota.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
That's when I went to South Dakota. And from South Dakota, I went to Cali. Okay. That's when, because I was supposed to go to the Amazon at first. They sidetracked me, and then I went to South Dakota. Then I went to build the Amazon. Right. Down in Beaumont, California, I stayed in Riverside, which was 45 minutes from LA, and it was an hour and 20 minutes from San Diego. Okay. And then every other beach on the coast, you could get in there, get to it within 45 minutes. So I stayed in Cali and you fell in love with.
You was in different parts of Cali, right?
Yeah, I think I lived in every part of California. Okay. Actually, I went from Southern California all the way up Bay Area. Now I'm in the capital, Sacramento.
That's where you at.
I know I know everything about Cali from the top from south to the top of the south all the way to the north. Right. Mind you, I accomplished something that's crazy that I didn't think about. I drove across the country by myself. I started in New York from that Gap job. Right. I drove to South Dakota, from South Dakota to Cali. So that's all the way across the country.
Excuse me, South Dakota, what, that's like Midwest?
South Dakota is considered Midwest. Okay. So Kansas, I did work in Kansas. I've been all over the place, Mel. I think I may have 35 to 40 of our states under my belt. Visiting. Because I could.
How long you been in Cali now? Like, how long you been in Cali?
3 years. I fell in love with Cali.
Wow. So what? Now you just in Cali now. You don't move it from
I just want to stay in Cali, and I put in enough work with my bosses. Like, he give me options now. He throw 3 at me, and where you want to go? And I let him know. Now my number one city that I did a job in too, a small job, is Phoenix. Phoenix, Arizona. That's a retirement spot too. That's a place where I go and it just feel like home. The whole thing.
It's hot out there.
Yeah, the summers is hot. That's where you stay in. But once the summer in, it's beautiful weather the whole time afterwards. It's that dry heat though.
Yeah.
Not that humid heat.
It's
It's not
almost
that
like
Florida,
it's
that
almost like that
Alabama.
Vegas heat.
Yeah, it's the Vegas heat. The Vegas heat. So yeah, my job have took me to so many different places. And you get to know a place not through vacation. You get to know a place living there.
Right.
And that's what I was able to get.
So let me ask you this. How it felt doing all of that traveling, being away from the family, not really knowing anybody, not having no friends around, like really having like to figure your way out.
Man, that's the toughest thing I think that I had to adapt to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about I moved into nice cribs, but nothing seemed familiar. You don't know nobody. Sometimes I was sleeping, wake up and think that I'm still dreaming because I'm like, nothing's familiar.
Right.
It's very hard. I see guys come out, try to do the job and they quit. They need to go back home. But I'm a survivor. After a few months, it starts feeling a little more comfortable. That's why I stay on Facebook and stuff.
Like
Because y'all familiar. And people don't know that. I'm on there, I'll be wilding, I'll be bugging, but it's cool to say something crazy to you and have you laugh and say something back and see Keisha and all my Ellesmere people on there. Right. And everybody just going crazy. That's my connection with y'all because I'm away. Right. Mom Dukes, you know she on the jack with me every day. Kids on the jack with me. You know what I'm saying? It's better now. My girl, she had a long time off with this COVID stuff. Sometimes COVID is not just, it's a blessing sometimes for certain people because she able to be at home with me and right. It's familiar. I'm coming home to somebody I know, familiar with. So it's super tough, bro. I got better with it in time. You know, once you accept your reality, you can do better with things.
Right.
But that's the cons of it. The pros is seeing new places, experiencing new things. It's once in a lifetime. It's very rare anybody can do this. You know what I'm saying? I'm seeing different states. It's like if I was an athlete who made it to the league.
Right. And they you know they traveling all the time. And and it's crazy because you'd be surprised people older than us that never left a city.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? 60, 70, even died and never seen never seen anything outside of their city. Like this is all they know. That's one of the reasons I felt it'd be so dope to bring you on here. Cause you did so much traveling to where like even somebody could see this and know like you can make a way stepping out of your comfort zone. You know what I'm saying? See other places. Cause just cause you was born here don't mean that this is your life.
Honestly, that's the only way. If you want more in your life, the only way to get it is to be out of your comfort zone. I don't know nobody, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know nobody who had these dreams of or just goals of being successful and then have to step out of their comfort zone.
Right.
You can't worry about money. You can't worry about what people may think. You can't worry about letting nobody down that depend on you. You just got to go for it. Because even people that depend on you, the better you are, the better they are. And they will give some people, when they don't understand the path, they'll give you shit behind it. You know what I'm saying? They give you shit like, how dare you leave your kids for a week? They don't understand it. but you do, and then you have to trust the process and trust that once they start catching up to you and comprehending,
right,
it'll all be good. Me and my son's mother, she have a different respect for me now as she see the outcome. She see what I'm able to provide for him now
right,
that I couldn't provide for him when I was in the same city.
right, right, right.
But you think she wasn't cursing me a good one when I
Sure.
was making
I'm
moves?
sure. I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah, so you have to trust the process. You gotta get out there and go, especially as a man. Especially as a man. Women could do it too. It's a little harder for women because most women is reserved. They don't really can't be by themselves like that as far as danger and defending
Right.
themselves. You got a lot more to worry about something coming through your door
Right.
and living in another city. But if they can do it, it's very capable of it. But as a man, I think that's what we prided for, providing and
Right.
going out there doing something to bring back the bacon. You know what I'm saying? But
And even if it means that you got to be away.
right.
Know what I'm
Be
saying?
away.
And unfortunately or unfortunately, depending on the situation, that's just what it is. Know what I'm saying? Like you got to do whatever you got to do to provide for your family. Whether that mean you got to get it here or get it elsewhere. Know what I'm saying?
It has to be done.
It has to
It
be
has
done.
to be done.
Ain't no two ways around it. Know what I mean?
But the hard part, the mental, believing in that, we men. So when you make a decision, you have to stand on it.
Mm-hmm.
So once you say, I'm copping up and I'm going to St. Louis, there's no in between, there's
Gotta
no
make it work now.
half-ass. You gotta go. Because
work.
if you go out to St. Louis and you was bullshitting in St. Louis, then you're gonna look like an asshole. You know what I mean?
So let me ask you this. With you moving around so much and not really being around too much family and not really knowing anybody in these places you was at, did that kind of give you more time to like focus on work?
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely, because out of sight, out of mind. So that's all I do
Right.
at times. I enjoy myself. If you see me, I put in work, Mel. I'm talking about I work 6 days a week, sometimes 7. I put in 10 to 12-hour days.
Right.
Because the type of work we do take a special individual. Ain't no hour and you stop. You finish that day out till you reach your goal and it's done. You know what I'm saying? But then, as I work those days, every other week, I get a few days off. And I don't waste no time with it. I'll be in another city, tearing up another city.
Right.
I book a flight. I go do me. I have fun and come right back to the bag and do it over again.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or I go see my son in Buffalo, daughter, whatever the case may be.
Right.
And then I'm right. And I enjoy it. I enjoy it because you're right. Being away, focus more on work. I'm here by myself. What I'm gonna do?
It's pointless to just sit around the house doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Why not get that extra dough?
Get that paper, and then it's cool too because you don't have time to spend it, and then we look at the bank account, you be like, oh, wow, some chicken in there.
Mm-hmm.
Got some chicken in there. Because I ain't even get to go out to do nothing.
Right, I just been grinding.
Toss no money
right.
nowhere. Grinding, come home, eat, like, oh, well,
Get
I got a free day today. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's what's up. So,
go
ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I think it pays off no matter what you do as long as you grind it and don't give up. Something going bend.
Survival of the fittest.
Mm-hmm.
So boom, Boom. All right, so you move around. You know, we said I like touched about 40 states. So like you putting in 10 to 12 hours a day, 6 to 7 days a week, and every free chance you get, you're making it happen. Whether it's going to have a good time, you and wifey, going to see family. You Mom Dukes is always in the mix on the jack. The kids is always in the mix on the jack. So like, what would you not what would you say, but or what advice would you get? Like, what played a key part for you? Because what worked for you may not work for the next person. What played a key part for you as far as to getting to the point where you at now?
That's an interesting question. A key part for me, I'm gonna keep it 100. I just think I was highly favored, bro. Like, I always believed in God. I got saved when I was 13. I walked up there on my own.
Wow.
And then things just started. My mom, like, if I think my mom for anything she ever gave me was learning who God was and how to pray properly. If my mom would give me anything else, if she wasn't she's a great mother, but if she was a horrible mother and she gave me that, she did her job. Miss Jones know God and she know how to properly pray. And when I say properly pray, it's mean you gotta have a conversation with God and say exactly what it is. Like you have people, not to make fun of them, they be in there, thou shall and fuck. I pray. You probably do too. I talk to him like he wanted home.
Yeah, he understand.
He understands. You have to be a fool to think he don't understand if he created every language, slang, and dialect you could come up with.
Right.
So I will say it, bro. I actually
the best way you know how.
Take care of me. I even pray.
And it got to come from the heart.
From the heart only.
It got to come from the heart.
And you have to believe too wholeheartedly.
Facts.
If you don't believe wholeheartedly, I'll tell you something I did. I won't say names. When I was back on the block, and I believe in this type of stuff, when I was back on the block, I wasn't even making no money. God put in my mind to bless this kid with $400. Some people would laugh at that, like, God ain't tell you that. Like, yeah, he did. Why would that be in my mind randomly? I contemplate, like, I don't got no money. Or if I give him this 400, all I got is food money and Metro card money.
Transportation to get back to it. Right.
I hit that boy with that paper and made his day. And then everything started falling in line.
Right.
Look where I'm at. I went down there with my mentor to have dinner. That's it. Look at it. Start clicking.
Doors start opening.
Doors start opening. So I just say favor, man, because I have a good, I thank God for the way I think too. Like that's my success for me. The way I think. It's very free will. Very honest. I may offend people at times when I say things. I don't look at things from other people's perspective, or I read that in a book, it sounds good, so let me say it to you. I really want to analyze something based on my mind, and that's how I would throw it out. Right. When I start doing that, shit that ain't make sense to me was easier to like. I don't care. I'll give you a crazy, small, stupid example.
Okay.
When we go to a restaurant, right? We go to a restaurant, push the door open, go in, right? You would sit down, at the table, right? People will eat like that, right? If they ain't got to use the bathroom.
Right.
Don't go sanitize their hands before they eat, right? So some people even go inside that same restaurant, right? Go straight to the bathroom. Use the bathroom and then wash their hands afterwards, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why won't you wash your hands before you touch your private after you just touch the germ door?
Facts.
So it should be a before and an after.
And an after, right. I heard that before too.
Society tell you to do it one way and everybody falls in line.
Right.
And that's just a small example of, to many things, how I always look at it first and see if it makes sense.
Sometimes you got to think outside the box.
So, because the restaurant is not trying to really they don't care what you just put on you.
No, none of that.
They don't care what you just put on you, touching all those doors. People, you ever seen somebody, right? You ever seen somebody like in a cashier, she about to give you your change. You should get your change and she put it in your hand like she don't want to touch your hand.
But you touching dirty money.
You touching dirty money, could have been anywhere, buttholes, all that stuff.
Money is probably one of the filthiest things in the world.
And you ain't want to touch my hand.
Now, and you got to remember, drug addicts use money to put drugs on.
Right.
And then spin it. So like, you find money on the floor. Money touches a million different hands. Like,
see, as we think, it's small stuff we talk about. I just want to give examples.
Right.
Small stuff, but people just fall in line with so many things. They're not even thinking if it makes sense or not.
Right.
I learned to apply that to my life, and I'll be so content and stern on my decisions I make because I know I analyze it properly. Rather the other person see it or not.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm thankful for how I think. That's a success for me.
That's fire.
You know what I'm saying?
That's fire. So, bro, before we tune out, right? Is it anything you want to put out there before we get out of here? Like any type of energy you want to put into the world?
Oh yeah, for life, for real. Because I'm really gonna start repping that hard, family over everything. That's how I gotta go. I ain't really need nobody to follow me or anything like that. Because I am very like friends, but matter of fact, if I just bug out on the internet anyway. But folk life, family over everything, that's the model. Don't put money over nobody. Don't think about money when you pursuing your dreams, because then you don't even know if that's your passion or your love. Because if you think about it, everybody that's doing their thing, it was a passion. And if you took the money away, they'd do it for free.
Choose.
If you think about our big CEOs and all that, I have had the opportunity to be around CEOs, and people want to inspire to be those. You got to know what it entails, and they basically passion before money, and they become rich. That's the money come last. They work all day. It's no clock punching. They all day long.
That's facts.
Put the family first, and the rest will fall in line, man.
That's dope, bro. So, yo, we about to get out of here. Y'all can follow me on the gram and Twitter at the M3L podcast. Love is love. We off this. Peace.
All right, salute, bro. Appreciate it.